Chris Oliver. I'm from Sunderland, born and bred, grew up in Farringdon, went to Farringdon Community School, left Sunderland at 16 to join the military. I have a successful career in the military, both in the Marines and the Special Forces, which has found my way onto a popular TV show, SAS Who Dares Wins, where I'm now one of the directing staff. Yeah, I specifically chose this chair because growing up being a Sunderland fan, initially it was Roker Park. As soon as we moved across to the Stadium of Light, as everybody knows, growing up in Sunderland, it's the heritage. Obviously, we don't get to choose what football team we support. We always inherit it. And my family were no different to anyone else's up in this region. We were Sunderland fans. When the season tickets became available, this was the corner that my stepdad had a season ticket. So we chose this specifically for today. I think being from Sunderland had a massive impact both on my mental resilience and sort of the culture of me as a person. When I joined the military, I knew straight away that I was going to have to dig deep. Joining the Marines as a 16-year-old, as you can imagine, was a particularly challenging period for me. But just like Sunderland, we have ups, we have downs. There's a lot of resilience in there, and there's a lot of stresses that we had to overcome. But it was all about breaking it down, building the right foundations and building it back up. And it served me well. As you can imagine, we're gritty, we're determined, we're from the northeast. Not only is it the bad weather, we've been on a roller coaster with the football team as well. Obviously a big part of what we do in the Special Forces is decision making under pressure, operating under immense pressure on the battlefield where ultimately people's lives are on the line. We see it in the military when the red mist comes down, but these are all transferable skills. We see this every time we watch a football match when the temperature is turned up to 100 degrees. It's possibly getting late into a game and you have to make decisions in a split second that are affecting not just you, your team, the community and the fan base. It's important that the correct control measures are in place and that you know how to deal with that pressure and what your coping mechanisms are so that you can make the right informed decision for the benefit of you and your team. Sunderland will always have a deep, steep military history, whether that was the Guards regiments. For me, it was the Royal Marines. Growing up running for Sunderland Harriers, which is a local running club, we used to get some local military guys when they were on their leave would come back. One being in particular was Dean Hassan. He was in the Royal Marines, which is where my military journey started. I'm up here for the weekend, Remembrance Weekend, Heroes Week here at Sunderland, and it's fantastic. It's the biggest Remembrance Day celebration outside of London, and it's always great to be back up here. I've got many friends who are here from both the Marines and the Army, and it's not only just in the northeast. There's a community outside of the northeast. When I watch football games and I'm not in Sunderland, it tends to be that we merge together with other Sunderland fans, share experiences across the military, and it's almost a shared interest, obviously, around the football club. Being from Sunderland, we talk about mental resilience. We talk about what is resilience. For me, mental resilience is sort of learning from your failures, having the opportunity to rebuild yourself. We call it picking yourself up and going again. This is no different to me joining the Marines as a young 16-year-old. I remember my running coach saying to me, I had a chip on my shoulder, I was too lippy, I wasn't going to make it, do you know what it entailed? And I think these are all positive comments to say to somebody, but if you're not taking that in terms of your mindset the right way, we all need criticism. We all need to experience failure to go on to achieve great things, and that's no different to Sunderland Football Club. Look where we've been the last 5 years. The fans still turned out here en masse because we believed in it. As a community, there's a deep-rooted passion around the club. It is the heartbeat of the region, and that's no different. And I feel like you can see it now. We've learned from the mistakes. We've been back down. We've almost broken to rebuild the structure and build that back up. And that was a lot of things that I seen in myself in the military. And I feel like we don't give a credit from being from the region. But the reality is we pick this up, whether we're doing it subconsciously or actively trying to build that resilience. But it's a massive part of your journey or my journey to get where I got, both in the Marines and in the Special Forces, and now beyond that transition from the military, the TV show. the ability to keep driving forward in the face of failure is a massive quality, and we've seen that at this football club, and it's fantastic to see. And the campaign last season to the end, and then watching the boys perform that and pull it out the bag. I'm getting goosebumps now just sat here. When Enzo Lafayette picks up that ball and he's running to the corner, he gives it a kiss. I think the whole stadium are praying for what was ultimately about to come, and we see it till the end. But the passion that came out literally lifted the roof off the stadium. And what a fantastic moment, and that's one that'll live with me till the day I die. A lot of this resilience, mindset, culture, it comes from a shared respect for one another. The culture that you bring within that organisation. In the Special Forces, we spend 6 months deployed on operations together with a shared goal, a shared motivation. It's a mission statement. We're out there to do a job. And when you look left and you look right, whether that's in the changing room, so that's on the battlefield, ultimately on the battlefield, who's got your back door, who's covering your ass when you're on the ground, they're saving your life. But again, on the football pitch, in the changing rooms, you know you have to build that trust, integrity, honour for you to go out there and play on this football pitch in front of a capacity stadium. And that's no different. And I feel like the way that you build that is through training, mutual respect, and building that culture and ingraining it in every single person in that. And it needs to start from the top down. And I feel like we've got that at the club at the moment. Yeah, having spoken to the players at length last season, which is fantastic to see. I mean, some of the points that we'd given them around being able to control their emotions on the pitch. For me, on the battlefield, we're conducting hostage rescues, there's bullets flying everywhere. It's a really intense sort of environment to operate in, but I need to be able to control that. I'm potentially walking into life-threatening situations, but on the football pitch, it's high pressure. There's a capacity stadium shouting your name, and you're making decisions in split seconds. So the most important thing, and this is what the players wanted to know, was how do you control that? One, your emotions and your decision making. And there's different ways in that we do it. And every single person will have a different way of doing it, whether that's breathing techniques, whether that's taking yourself out of the situation. We always say, pinch yourself, give yourself 5 seconds, take yourself away. Or it might be one of your comrades, one of your players, one of your teammates that needs to take you away. They can see it in each other. He's losing it, he's gone to red mist, 100%. Close in on him, have a word in his ear, take him to one side and just calm the situation down, because it can have compounding effects that can ultimately end the result, cost someone his life, or on the football pitch might end in the team getting beat when potentially had the opportunity to win that game. You've joined an organisation, you're miles away from home, whether that's because you've joined as a 16-year-old joining the military, or you've gone away on operations anywhere around the globe. As soon as you end up having a conversation with another peer or another part of the armed forces, whether that's a different regiment. For me, I was in the Royal Marines, but I'd say the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. As soon as you hear the accent, straight away it promotes a conversation, where you're from, and then it comes down and it gets more granular. Whereabouts in Sunderland you're from, what school did you go to, who's your favourite Sunderland player, and were you at the match last week, did you see the result the other week? And I feel like all of this camaraderie stems from ultimately the heartbeat of Sunderland, and anybody who's from this region will understand that it is this football club. Everything comes from that. People don't go to work on a Monday if Sunderland's being beat. That's the reality of it, because it's such a massive impact on everybody's life.